At 0945 hours on Tuesday morning, they terminated my employment. By 14:30, I'd shut down their $450 million steel operation. Here's how 18 years of loyalty turned into perfect revenge. The name's Randolph Fisher, but everyone calls me Tank. I'm 47 years old, and for the past 18 years, I've been the guy keeping Midwest Steel Works from becoming a federal disaster zone. You don't see my name on any corporate directories, but if you drive a car, live in a skyscraper, or cross a bridge, there's a good chance I'm the reason the steel in it meets safety standards. I run plant operations for a $450 million manufacturing facility. That's corporate speak for the guy who makes sure molten metal doesn't kill anybody. I don't have a corner office with fancy furniture. I've got a workstation that smells like machine oil and burnt coffee right next to the furnace floor where the real work happens. The constant vibration of the rolling mills lets me feel the pulse of production. I like it that way. Before I tell you exactly how I dismantled this steel empire with precision timing, let me give you some background. I spent 8 years in the Navy as a CB engineer, building airstrips and infrastructure in places where mistakes got people killed. Lost a good buddy when some contractor cut corners on hydraulic safety protocols. Swore I'd never let equipment failures cost lives again. That's why when suits mess with safety procedures, I take it personal. The trouble started when old Stanley Morrison retired to his fishing cabin up north. Stanley was tough as railroad steel, but he understood that manufacturing runs on trust and technical expertise. We had an understanding. I kept his furnaces running safely. He kept the paychecks coming and stayed out of my operational decisions. Then came corporate's golden boy, Wade Brennan. Wade was 34 years old, MBA from some business school, with consulting experience at firms that specialized in operational efficiency. Guy wore suits that cost more than most of my crew's monthly paychecks and talked about disrupting traditional manufacturing paradigms. He walked into that VP office like he owned the molecular structure of steel itself. First week, Wade installed a wellness meditation space. Second week, he brought in Rachel Park as Chief Efficiency Officer. That's corporate speak for an MBA who never held a wrench but knows how to optimize everything on spreadsheets. Third week, he was walking around talking about modernizing our antiquated safety protocols. I kept my head down and focused on production metrics. I'm a professional. I'd survived 3 major equipment failures, 2 economic downturns, and a federal EPA audit that had me documenting environmental compliance with paper forms when our computer systems crashed. I figured I could survive Wade too. The friction wasn't immediate. It was like metal fatigue developing over time under stress. Wade didn't respect my operational methods. I was legacy infrastructure. I was analog processes in a digital optimization world. I was a middle-aged guy in steel-toed boots who preferred direct radio communication over corporate messaging apps because when a furnace operator needs emergency shutdown protocols, you don't send him a notification. To Wade, I represented inefficiency. To me, he was like a newly commissioned officer fresh out of training, dangerous because he had authority but zero field experience with high-temperature industrial processes. The breaking point came during peak production season. Everything running at maximum capacity. Steel orders from automotive manufacturers, construction contractors, infrastructure projects. I was working 14-hour shifts coordinating with suppliers whose quarterly deliveries depended on meeting metallurgical specifications before contract deadlines expired. That's when the email arrived. Subject line, Mandatory Efficiency Optimization Relocation Initiative. Wade wanted all senior plant personnel to relocate to our sister facility in Tennessee as part of a cost reduction strategy. Same week, I had 6 furnaces running temperature-critical operations for aerospace-grade steel orders. These contracts had zero tolerance for delays. I hit reply. Wade, can't relocate during critical production cycle. Have aerospace contracts requiring continuous metallurgical oversight. One thermal variance could compromise structural integrity specifications. My kids are settled in local schools. Have a productive week. Professional, direct, reasonable. I was wrong to think those qualities mattered anymore. Monday morning, the plant floor felt different. You know that feeling when atmospheric pressure drops before a storm system moves through? The radio chatter from the control booth was too quiet. Floor supervisors were avoiding eye contact with me. I sat down at my workstation, powered up my terminal, took a sip of industrial-strength coffee. My access credentials failed. System rejection. Network connectivity issues. I thought, trying again. Access denied. I was reaching for my radio when I heard expensive dress shoes clicking across the concrete floor. Wade's voice echoed behind me. Tank, I turned around. There he was, flanked by Rachel holding her tablet and two security personnel who looked like they'd rather be anywhere else. Terminal malfunction? I asked, though my operational instincts already knew the answer. We're implementing organizational restructuring for enhanced productivity, Wade said, adjusting his power tie. Your resistance to modernization initiatives was the final indicator of cultural misalignment. I stared at him, the silence stretched tight as a load cable under maximum tension. You're terminating me because I chose operational continuity over your relocation mandate. It's about strategic alignment. Rachel interjected, her voice full of business terminology and zero technical substance. We need personnel who synchronize with our efficiency frequency. I looked at Rachel, I looked at Wade, I looked at the security team. Then I looked at my workstation, the radio crackling with operator communications, the framed photo of my kids, Lisa and Noah, the coffee mug from my Navy unit. Wade, I said, my voice steady as structural steel under rated load. I manage safety protocols for 200 suppliers. I'm the certified signatory for EPA compliance, OSHA regulations, and the Steelworkers Union Local 1247. Those certifications don't transfer to your corporate cloud storage. Wade laughed. Ugly sound. Everyone's replaceable, tank, that's operational efficiency 101. I stood up, slow and deliberate. I didn't shout, didn't argue, didn't damage company property. I reached into my pocket, pulled out my ID badge, and placed it in Wade's manicured hand. Copy that, I said. Tell Stanley, I said thanks for 18 years. Stanley's in retirement, Wade said smugly. He doesn't care about legacy personnel. He will, I said, grabbing my jacket and the kid's photo. By 1400 hours, your first furnace cycle is going to hit thermal variance limits. By 1430, your entire operation's going to realize the technical expertise just walked out the door. I walked out. Elevator doors closed on Wade's confident expression. I checked my watch. 0945 hours. Time to implement Operation Shutdown. The parking lot air tasted like steel dust and freedom. I walked to my 2019 Ford F9 250, the one with battle scars from 1,000 loading dock encounters, tossed my jacket and the kid's photo onto the passenger seat. Most people, when they get fired after 18 years, they panic. They think about mortgage payments, health insurance, their professional identity. Part of me was running those calculations. I'm a single dad. Lisa's college tuition isn't cheap. Noah's still in high school. That $15 million pension fund better stay intact. 300 steelworkers counting on it, including me. But another part of me, the part that survived equipment failures in hostile conditions, was already shifting into tactical mode. Except this time, I wasn't preventing the system failure. I was the incoming threat to system stability. I pulled out my personal cell phone. Thank goodness I never mixed business communications with personal contacts. My contact list read like a directory of Midwest industrial operations. Not official channels, but the emergency authorization numbers, the ones they called when processes went critical. I didn't send mass notifications. That's amateur methodology. Looks like sabotage. I needed surgical precision strikes. Targeted shutdowns. I composed a message. Effective immediately. Randolph Fisher is no longer employed by Midwest Steelworks. I am no longer authorized to certify safety protocols, environmental compliance, or metallurgical specifications. Per our standard service agreements, key personnel changes trigger automatic operational review. Please contact Wade Brennan, VP Operations, for all future authorizations. The shutdown clause I'd built into every major contract when the company was expanding rapidly and vendors were nervous about liability coverage. Simple clause stating that if the primary technical manager left the company, vendors could suspend operations until they verified replacement qualifications. Wade didn't know about these clauses. Wade probably thought service agreements were something you signed with electronic signatures. I hit send. First message to Allied Industrial Supply. Send. Midwest Environmental Compliance Services. Send. OSHA Certification Authority. Send. Took me 35 minutes working through the lists systematically. Each send was like removing a critical support beam. Every notification cost Midwest Steel about $150,000 in delayed production revenue. My phone buzzed immediately. Dominic Torres from Steelworkers Local 1247, voice like gravel in a cement mixer. Tank, what's this message? Just got a bounce back from your work address saying user unknown. I'm out, Dom, I said, leaning back in the driver's seat. Wade cut me loose this morning. Strategic alignment issues. Strategic alignment. Dom barked a harsh laugh. Does this business school genius know we got 6 furnaces running aerospace contracts today? Temperature-sensitive operations that'll fail metallurgical standards if we shut down. My crew doesn't operate without your safety certification. Those guys won't risk their lives for some corporate efficiency expert. That'd be Wade's problem now. Maybe Rachel can optimize the safety protocols into compliance. Yeah, right? You ain't certifying operations. The crew's shut down. Contract clause. Correct? Contract compliance. Copy that, tank. Furnaces are cooling down. Enjoy your day off, one domino falling. I started the F-90-150 and drove to my command position, Murphy's Diner on Route 94. Greasy breakfast joint with vinyl booths, coffee that could etch steel, and hash browns cooked in oil older than Wade's MBA. Perfect operational base. I walked in. Doris the waitress knew me from countless late nights here waiting for delayed material shipments. Coffee, tank. Keep it coming, honey, and I need the Wi-Fi password. I set up my laptop on the worn Formica table. Phone started buzzing immediately. Incoming call, Swift Environmental Services. Incoming call, Industrial Transport Alliance. Incoming call, Wade Brennan. I stared at Wade's name flashing on the screen. Let it ring. He called again. Let it ring again. Took a sip of the industrial strength coffee. Tasted like tactical victory. I opened the plant monitoring app. Publicly available system that tracked production metrics. Yellow indicators were appearing across the status board. Yellow meant operational variance beyond normal parameters. Red cluster forming around Furnace Bay 3, that'd be the aerospace steel contract. The temperature control protocols required manual authorization reset. I used to input new specifications every Tuesday morning. Today was Tuesday. The system demanded certified operator override. I hadn't completed the authorization before Wade escorted me off the premises. Wade probably thought those furnaces operated by automated intelligence or the sheer force of his business optimization theories. Phone buzzed. Text from unknown number, 219 area code. Mr. Fisher, this is Martinez, shift supervisor for Precision Steel Transport. Our drivers are locked out of the Midwest Steel Loading Facility. Your office phone goes to voicemail. Are we in contract violation? I typed back. Mr. Martinez, I no longer work for Midwest Steel. Refer to contract provisions. Cannot authorize facility access. Good luck. 3 minutes later, another yellow indicator appeared on my monitoring app. Loading facility was frozen. Transport operations suspended. My phone lit up like a control panel during emergency shutdown. Every vendor, every operator, every partner I'd worked with over 18 years was calling. The network was realizing the technical nerve center had been severed. At 12:30 hours, my phone rang. Not Wade this time. The frantic voice of Rachel Park. This is Tank, I answered. Voice calm and professional. Tank, she screamed, sounded like she was having respiratory distress. You have to provide us the authorization codes. The operators are threatening work stoppage. Rachel, I don't possess authorization codes. They're in the system. Server access required. We can't access the server. It keeps demanding authentication sent to your phone. That's two-factor security authentication. Very important for cybersecurity protection. Military-grade security protocols. Give me the authentication code. Can't do that, Rachel. I'm a civilian now. Sharing security credentials with unauthorized personnel violates federal cybersecurity regulations. I could face prosecution. Silence. Stunned silence. Wade's voice came through the speaker. Tank, you're holding the company hostage. Wade, you terminated my employment effective immediately. That means my security clearance is revoked. If I give you that code, I'm committing a federal crime. Won't violate the law for a company I don't work for. Stop playing games. Give us the code or I'm suing you for corporate sabotage. Wade, you fired me for cultural misalignment. Said I was replaceable. Surely your agile optimization team can figure out password recovery through your IT contractor. We called them. They said the account administrator has to authorize system reset. That's you. Sounds like a flaw in your organizational chart. I'd suggest calling emergency technical support. Costs about $8,000 per hour, but they can override systems in maybe 36 hours. 36 hours. Wade exploded. We have 400 tons of aerospace steel in thermal cycle. It'll fail specifications. Aerospace contracts are challenging. Time-sensitive metallurgy. Did you renew the environmental monitoring agreements for the cooling systems? Those expire monthly. I usually handle that manually because the automated system has glitches. Sound like someone punching expensive furniture. Fix this, Tank. Come back and maybe we won't destroy you legally. Are you offering me my position back? I'm offering you a chance to not be financially ruined. No thanks. I'm busy. Got some classic Camaro restoration to catch up on. Very therapeutic hobby. I hung up. Hand was shaking slightly, not from fear, but from adrenaline rush. I just hung up on a VP. Felt pretty satisfying. I checked my monitoring app. More yellow indicators. Miami cold storage facility. That'd be the refrigerated units losing power because the fuel payment cards were declined. I texted Eddie Grant, the cold storage supervisor. Eddie, it's Tank. I'm out. The corporate guy's driving operations off a cliff. Fuel cards are going to bounce. Don't let drivers sit there burning diesel. Hook up to emergency shore power at your facility. Contingency account 284-7A. I set it up 2 years ago. Eddie texted back, Roger Tank, heard the news. We got you covered. We'll save the steel, but no transport moves till you say so. That's when I realized I wasn't unemployed. I was freelance consulting. My currency was professional influence built over 18 years of keeping my word and protecting people. Time to be proactive. I thought about who'd benefit most from Midwest Steel's collapse, Industrial Solutions Corporation. Their regional director, Carl Murphy, had been trying to recruit me for years. I always said no out of loyalty to Stanley, but loyalty is a two-way street. Wade had just demolished it with his corporate bulldozer. I dialed Carl's number. He answered immediately. Tank Fisher. What do I owe the pleasure? I'm available, Carl. Available? Fired this morning. Expensive pause. Strategic pause. Where are you? Murphy's Diner, Route 94. Stay there. I'm sending transportation. Carl, one thing, I'm not coming alone. I'm bringing EPA compliance, OSHA certifications, and Steelworkers Local 1247. I'll send the executive car. Black Lincoln Navigator pulls up to a blue-collar diner. Sticks out like a precision instrument in a tool shed. Driver opens the door. I grab my laptop bag and climb in. Smells like success and leather conditioning. As we cruise toward downtown, I check industry news on my phone. Nothing on mainstream media yet. Manufacturing is boring until it explodes, but the trade publications are active. Steel Industry Weekly headline, Midwest Steel reports major system failure. Production halted manufacturing today? Who is Tank Fisher? Why steelworkers won't operate for Midwest Steel. I'm trending in the most specialized corner of the internet. Fame is strange, then a news alert appears that makes my blood run cold. Breaking EPA incident report. Midwest Steel facility reports environmental violation. Toxic discharge under investigation. I call Dom immediately. He answers before the first ring completes. Tank, tell me you saw the news. I saw it. Was it one of our guys? No, but listen, it was a replacement operator, non-union guy. Wade hired off some contractor app 2 hours ago because we refused to operate without proper certification. My stomach drops like failing structural steel. What kind of discharge, cooling system overflow? The kid didn't have environmental certification. Tank didn't understand thermal expansion coefficients. Exceeded containment capacity. Leaked industrial coolant into the drainage system. EPA's responding. This isn't just production delays anymore. This is federal violation territory. This isn't just business anymore. This is what happens when you put profit optimization over technical expertise. Convenience over competence. Some kid's probably going to face federal charges because Wade was too arrogant to admit he needed me. Operator, okay, he's alive. Scared out of his mind. But Midwest Steel's finished. Tank. EPA's going to suspend the entire facility for environmental audit. Mandatory cessation of operations. I arrive at Industrial Solutions Corporation headquarters. 28-story glass tower that projects competence and financial stability. Carl Murphy's waiting in the lobby. Looks like a plant manager who won every operational challenge he faced. Tank, he extends his hand. You look energized for someone who got fired this morning. I look unemployed, Carl, and there's been a development environmental violation at Midwest Steel. EPA's shutting down complete operations. His eyes widened. Stock values going to zero. Wade doesn't just need legal counsel now. He needs divine intervention. We take the elevator to the 22nd floor. His office has a view of the entire industrial district, including the actual emergency vehicles at Midwest Steel's facility, where EPA technicians are conducting investigations. Whiskey or coffee? We've got work to do. Coffee? Strong. Carl pours coffee from a machine that probably costs more than my truck. Our dispatch center's been flooded with requests. Midwest Steel contracts hitting the open market. Rates going through the roof. Wade's panicking. He's trying to cover the production orders, but doesn't have the technical relationships. Plus, my steelworkers won't operate for him anyway. What do you want, Tank? Director, title, corner office? We can beat your salary by 25%. I don't want a job, Carl. I want operational autonomy. I want to build a division within Industrial Solutions, strategic steel operations. I bring my vendor network, my operator relationships, my technical reputation. I run operations my way, no interference from your marketing department. I report to you, period. You're asking for your own industrial kingdom. I'm offering you a steel empire by tomorrow. Major clients Caterpillar, Boeing, Ford Motor Company will be looking for reliable production capacity. I can be that capacity. Carl smiles. Successful predators smile, but honest business smiles. Deal. Let me get contracts drafted. My phone buzzes. Text from Noah. Dad, seeing news about Midwest Steel on manufacturing websites. You okay? I text back. Affirmative, son. Tactical career redeployment in progress. Focus on your algebra homework. This is handled. While we're waiting for legal to prepare contracts, my phone rings. Roger Allen, Midwest Steel's corporate attorney. Tank, you need to know. Stanley's plane just landed. He doesn't know about the EPA violation yet, but he knows the stock's crashing. He's furious. Thanks for the heads up, Roger. I grab my jacket. Carl, prepare those contracts. I need to meet a very angry former CEO. I drove to the private airfield where Stanley's Citation was scheduled to land. I parked by the security fence, watching his jet taxi to the executive hangar. The stairs lowered. Stanley Morrison descended like a thunderstorm with legs. He was on his phone shouting. Even from 60 yards, I could see rage radiating off him like heat from a furnace. He looked around for his car service, saw nothing, then saw my F-250. I rolled down the window. He stormed over, coat flapping like battle flags. You, he roared, pointing. You destroyed everything I built. Get in, Stanley, I said, using his first name for the first time in 18 years. He stopped. Shock silenced him momentarily. Get in. Your driver's not coming. Wade fired dispatch coordination, so nobody arranged pickup. Flight's early anyway. I'm the only transportation you've got. He stared at the empty parking lot, looked at his phone, probably exploding with disaster reports, yanked the door open, climbed in. Drive, he growled, and explained why my life's work is worth half what it was this morning. Seatbelt, Stanley. It's a long story. Starts with efficiency optimization and ends with your replacement's incompetence. We pulled onto the highway. You destroyed my legacy, he said, staring out the window at emergency vehicles heading toward his facility. No, Stanley, I built your legacy. Wade destroyed it. I just stopped holding the structural supports together. Mile of silence. Then, the EPA violation. Roger mentioned environmental discharge. Your replacement hired an unqualified operator through a contractor app because my union guys wouldn't operate without proper certification. Kids probably facing federal charges. EPA's investigating industrial coolant discharge. Environmental protection agencies suspending your entire operation. He turned to look at me. Eyes like blue steel under stress testing. How bad? EPA fines will consume your liquid operating capital. That's before wrongful endangerment lawsuits when investigators discover your VP hired a non-certified operator for environmental compliance operations. So you want your job back? Want me to fire Wade? I don't want my job back, Stanley. I'm finished. Just doing this courtesy transport so you don't hear it from CNN first. Hear what? That I'm taking the entire supplier network to Industrial Solutions Corporation. APA compliance certifications signed the transfer 3 hours ago. Most of your vendors are following. Silence in the truck was deafening. Sound of an industrial empire ending. You wouldn't. I already did. Carl Murphy made me an offer I couldn't refuse. Director of Strategic Steel Operations. My own division, complete operational autonomy. Strange thing happened. He slumped back and started laughing. Dry, bitter chuckle like metal fatigue cracking under load. The shutdown clauses, he muttered. I remember when you wrote those provisions. Told you it was unnecessary protection. It was insurance. Stanley, you just collected the payout. We were approaching headquarters. Police lights flashing, news vans on the property. EPA hazmat response trucks. Looked like a federal crime scene investigation. Drop me at the employee entrance, he said quietly. I drove around back to where I'd started 18 years ago. He opened the door, paused. Tank. If I fire Wade right now, clean house completely, will you stay? I looked at the employee entrance, the crumbling concrete, the empire I'd built with expertise and stress in 18 years of my professional life. Negative, Stanley. Too much structural damage. But I'll make you a deal. What kind of deal? That $15 million pension fund your replacement's about to lose to legal fees. Those 300 steelworkers counting on retirement benefits. Industrial Solutions will assume the liability if you sell us Midwest Steel's operational assets for $50 million. Clean transfer. Your people keep their benefits. His face went white like metal under thermal shock. Sell my company for $50 million, Stanley. It's worth less than that right now with EPA violations. I'm offering you a clean exit and a way to protect your people. Long pause, the weight of 72 years settling on his shoulders like structural load. Do it, he said quietly. Save the pensions. I'll sign whatever you need. He got out, walked toward the chaos. A king returning to witness his kingdom's funeral. 8 months later, I'm sitting in my new office at Industrial Solutions Corporation, glass wall overlooking the production floor. I can see cranes moving steel beams that still have faded Midwest Steel markings, but they're shipping on Industrial Solutions bills of lading now. The pension fund transfer completed successfully. All 300 steelworkers kept their retirement benefits. Dom Torres sent me a plaque. To Tank, we operate when you say operate. It hangs next to my Navy Commendation Medal. Wade got 24 months federal prison for environmental violations and endangering worker safety. Rachel's Efficiency Consulting podcast lasted 4 episodes before corporate sponsors dropped her. Stanley's in retirement permanently. Sent me a case of bourbon with a note. To the best operations manager I ever served with. I opened a bottle last week. Tasted like professional respect. My assistant Jennifer walks in. Daily briefing, Tank. Production efficiency up 28%. Worker safety record, 0 incidents. Client satisfaction highest in company history. The operations running like precision machinery. Phone rings. Tank Fisher's office, steel emergency in Ohio. Jennifer says, auto plant shutdown. They need 200 tons of structural steel by dawn tomorrow. I put on my headset. Pull up the logistics planning software. Let's move some steel. That evening, I drive home to my house. Both kids are there. Lisa's back from her sophomore year at State, studying engineering just like her old man. Noah's finished his first semester of trade school, specializing in industrial welding. They're both sitting at the kitchen table, homework spread out between them. Dad, Lisa says, looking up from her metallurgy textbook, my professor heard about what you did. Said you're required reading now in his industrial management course. And my welding instructor knows the whole story. Noah adds, grinning, says, you proved that technical expertise beats corporate theory every time. I look at my kids, both of them choosing to work with their hands, building something real and lasting. Everything I fought to protect. That's the thing about competence, I tell them. It doesn't just tear things down, it builds them back up stronger. Working people, we're the foundation that keeps America manufacturing. When management forgets that, we have to remind them who actually makes the wheels turn. The story spread through manufacturing circles like heat through good steel. Not because I was looking for fame, but because sometimes people need to hear that loyalty should work both directions, that expertise deserves respect, and that the folks who actually know how to make things happen still matter in this country. The pension fund's secure. The steelworkers kept their jobs. Production never stopped. And somewhere in retirement, Stanley Morrison learned that you can't replace 18 years of relationship building with a consultant's efficiency report. One honest shift at a time, that's how you build something that lasts. Wade thought he could optimize the human element out of manufacturing. Turned out the human element was the only thing keeping his operation from becoming federal case study in how not to run a steel company. Sometimes the system needs more than optimization. Sometimes it needs someone who remembers that behind every safety protocol, every vendor relationship, every union contract, there are real people depending on getting it right. When you forget that, when you start treating competence like it's replaceable, the whole structure comes down. In 18 years, I learned that manufacturing doesn't run on spreadsheets or MBA theories. It runs on trust, technical knowledge, and taking care of the people who take care of the work. Break that trust, and all the corporate buzzwords in the world can't hold the operation together. The real power in American manufacturing isn't in boardrooms or business schools. It's in the hands of people who understand that when you mess with someone's livelihood, you better make sure they don't hold the keys to keeping your whole operation running. Tank out, and remember this, in a world full of people trying to be irreplaceable, the truly irreplaceable ones are those who make everyone around them better, stronger, and more capable of standing on their own.